Hi, I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week. My partner Kristen Oaks White and the rest of the TWILA team will join us as the show progresses because we are kind of working with some social distance between us, still working from home to bring you TWILA to let you know about the hard work our farmers and ranchers are doing across the state to keep us clothed and to keep us fed. The Louisiana sugarcane industry injects about $1 billion a year into the Louisiana economy. Well, now the Louisiana sugarcane industry is saving lives. A rum distillery in Baton Rouge with ties to Alma Plantation in Point Capee Parish is now turning sweet molasses into virus-killing sanitizer. The sign outside reads rum, and inside, yes, you'll find bottles of rum. However, the Three-Roll Estate Distillery is putting production of this spirit on hold. J.B. Salem is the head distiller. Rather than working on new flavors, he's helping kill coronavirus by making sanitizer.
The only variance between the hand sanitizer alcohol and the rum that we make is that we're going to produce the hand sanitizer alcohol at a higher strength so that it works as a sterilizer, and we're also going to produce it with a different yeast that's not meant to produce flavor, but it's meant to just produce as much good high-strength alcohol as it can.
What you may not realize is that this life-saving sanitizer is a 100% Louisiana agricultural product.
All the alcohol we produce, whether it's sanitizer or rum, is all coming from the fields of Louisiana sugarcane. Specifically, we partner with Alma Sugar Mill. They supply all of our molasses, our sugarcane juice, and our raw sugar from the mill.
Inside the distillery, Salem and the small team of workers use the 80% alcohol sanitizer in these spray bottles to sterilize the door handles and all other frequently touched objects every hour. However, Three-Roll is not providing sanitizer to customers in these small containers.
We're actually doing it in 55-gallon drums to supply the industries that are really in need. They'll take it and they'll put it in their own spray bottles, and that'll stop them from having to use like Lysol wipes every time they need to wipe down a tool or a surface or something.
And yes, Salem does use the sanitizer on his hands. It's one small way he helps those around him stay healthy while COVID-19 is a threat.
Yeah, so it feels great to be helping out the community in whatever way we can during this pandemic. It also feels great to be able to have my production staff with me and be able to keep us both on board and busy here at Three-Roll. Honestly, it was super hard to work at home, so it's nice to be back at work, and we only have a couple of people on staff for the production team anyway, so we're able to keep a safe distance from each other the whole day that we're working.
Three-Roll Estate is still selling rum. You just have to go to the tasting room, stand outside, push the little doorbell, and they will bring it out to you. And don't worry, with all that sanitizer they have, they are sanitizing everything, including their hands, every hour. I saw them do it myself. Louisiana is known as sportsman's paradise, and every 2 years, the fishermen, oystermen, and others all come together to celebrate the bounty this state has to offer. This week, TWILA's Neil Melanson tells us that this year's Fisheries Forward Summit was all about trying to survive for the future.
One of the last events before the coronavirus shutdown is the Louisiana Fisheries Forward Summit here in Kenner. The expo shows off the latest in products and fishing gear, as well as services such as this virtual reality boat driving simulation to help train the next generation headed for open waters. James Carrion, owner of Carrion Machines, is showing off this shrimp sorter that can be put on shrimp boats to speed up handling.
We have one machine in use actually out in Hawaii. This will be our first machine going into use in the Gulf area for on-boat use. And yeah, we're prepared to take orders and manufacture these and serve the industry.
While numbers were down this year due to the coronavirus, Thomas Emel, the summit's director, says it's vital to support the fishermen and industry for Louisiana's economy.
We are it when it comes to seafood, and we have thousands of people employed in this industry. And so what we're trying to do is keep it, maintain its forward progress. Lots changing. Seafood is involved in the global economy. Fishermen come here to learn about new things, new technology, learn about the challenges and opportunities in the industry.
While the country is going through a tough time, Louisiana fishermen, shrimpers, and oystermen have been suffering since at least last year. A deluge of fresh water severely damaged the oyster beds of Brad Robin in St. Bernard Parish.
You hear about the money that might be coming down from disaster. Listen, there's 7 states applying for that money. Alone, our damages, Louisiana's $258 million. That's one this year. What happens the next 3 years? They estimate we lost $121 million in the private sector. We think that's just a little piece of the pie. We think it can go $500,000 to $1 billion worth of damage in the next 3 to 4 years. Dr.
Julie Lively of Louisiana Sea Grant says the science backs what they're hearing from the producers, and recovery could take years even if everything goes perfectly.
Some of the landings take a while to really get in. We do have all the shrimp landings for 2019, at least preliminary federal landings, and it's significantly down. And a lot of that supports what we heard from the fishermen, that the shrimp just weren't there.
With the virus closing restaurants and market prices dropping, the whole industry is being severely impacted.
The markets are tough. I mean, we compete against countries that we can't compete with. India is subsidized so heavily by their government that basically commercial fishermen, the price that has to be paid to them is really, really hard for them to compete.
It's unknown if and when better times will come for our fisheries. That's why it's more important now than ever to buy Louisiana seafood. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Neil Melanson.
On March 23rd, a bipartisan group of 4 senators, 2 from each party, got together to ask for $11.3 billion in relief for fisheries during the coronavirus outbreak. That money is part of the $2 trillion CARES Act, which passed last week. Unfortunately, the news is not good right now for our state's fishermen. For the 4th time in 3 years, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is opening the Bonnie Carey Spillway. That's near New Orleans along the Mississippi River. The combination of snowmelt and rainfall along the Mississippi River Valley sent a lot of water our way. Right now, 45 bays are open with a forecast of 90 of the 350 total bays at maximum. This could change if the Mississippi River crests higher. Many fishermen are recovering from the last 2 years of damage from fresh water coming out of the spillway, as well as lower prices. Now, with restaurant demand in sharp decline and prices really close to the bottom, this could not come at a worse time. And hopefully this won't be as bad as the 2019 slow-moving disaster. We'll keep you updated as things change. Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, says he is donating $100 million to food banks across the United States to help the needy. And that's one of the toughest aspects of this coronavirus outbreak. The Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank normally feeds 80 to 100,000 people. With private food banks shutting down, well, due to social distancing, the demand has increased while supplies have dwindled. It's a story seen in every part of the state. While the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank got help from the National Guard to box and distribute food, they are in desperate need of contributions, both in food and money. If you'd like to help out the food bank in your area, look for a link on our website at twilatv.org. And by the way, each year, the Louisiana Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers get together and donate food and money to food banks across the state. Most of us are at home during this COVID-19 outbreak. In fact, I'm bringing you this show from my backyard. But Louisiana's farmers and ranchers, they are still hard at work to make sure that we have a bounty this coming Easter. Now, one commodity in particular that is in abundance and you can get easily right now is crawfish. In this episode of Field to Feast, Jennifer Finley teams up with Chef Celeste from a safe distance to show you some good home-style cooking.
Field to Feast with Jennifer Finley is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice.
Good morning, Chef.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. How about
you? You know, I'm a hugger.
And you know what I normally say to people? Consider yourself hugged. So this works for me.
Virtual hugs.
Yes.
So today we are social distancing, very important during the coronavirus, but we wanted to bring you some home cooking because we know everybody's at home right now and we have all of these delicious local Louisiana ingredients, and maybe it's time to get in the kitchen and play around a bit.
Exactly. So
what are we going to do today?
We are making lasagna.
Lasagna is the perfect comfort food.
It really
and we
is.
all need a little bit of comforting right now. And the other interesting thing is we are keeping as many people out of this production as possible. So I am also today's camera woman. What do we need? What are the ingredients needed to make a lasagna from home?
Well, I like to add, we're gonna do some green onions, some fresh parsley, we have eggs, cottage cheese, we have mozzarella cheese, 2 types. I have my crawfish, because you can't have the crawfish lasagna without that. I'm chopping up some green onions. I'm just gonna put those in here. And remember, guys, this is for the family at home. I've already washed my hands. When we're in production for the public right now, what we do, we wear full masks when we're preparing food for anyone outside of our household. We wear gloves. We're like in full gear to make sure that we're protecting your food at all times. I'm gonna drop in my crawfish tail so they can start to absorb some of the butter as well as the green onions. I'll put about half of that in. This is roughly 1 pound that's going in. 2 pinches of salt in there. A little bit of paprika. 1, 2, you see that pinch? It's very important. Then we have some white pepper going in. And I have some Cajun seasoning and some cayenne pepper. Be easy on the cayenne. So that's the 2-finger, half a pinch. I'm gonna drop the rice with that.
This is a Cajun crawfish comfort lasagna.
Yes.
Triple C.
Triple C.
See, that already just looks like you could serve that over Louisiana white rice and call it a day.
That's what I'm saying. You can put it over that. You can put it on some crostinis and just have a snack. So now the spaghetti sauce is going in. Use your favorite. For the advanced personnel out there, if you want to make your own, make your own. So in the filling, I have 4 eggs.
Okay, so I have never used cottage cheese in my filling.
You can use ricotta cheese also, but if the cottage cheese is a little easier to find, and I just want to make sure that we know that if you don't find ricotta cheese, it's okay.
That's awesome.
Okay, so let's just kind of...
Again, this is a lot about what you might have at home in the cupboard.
Right.
While you're at stay-at-home mode.
And if you don't have the cottage cheese or the ricotta at home, it's still okay.
Now, Chef does make these as catering meals. So if this looks so delicious, but you don't have these ingredients at home, and you would very much like to have some of the comfort lasagnas, you can visit our website at twilatv.org, and we will link you straight to her catering business where she can drop off sheet pans of food just like this.
Okay. Now in went some Parmesan cheese. Give it a try.
I am already feeling comforted.
Okay.
You know what I got in there?
What you got?
That delicious crawfish tail.
Yes.
Very easy to pick up a bag of crawfish to go and do something like this. Have a boil at home, then take your extra tails, whatever you don't get through, and use them in dishes like this. It's wonderful, and it would really help out the crawfish farmers.
Now, you ready to start assembling?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. I like to put a layer of my meat sauce on the bottom. Do you know why?
So that it won't stick.
Yep. Just a little bit.
Look at those crawfish tails.
Just a little bit.
You know, so it's really you're using your crawfish tails instead of your sausage or your ground beef.
Put me a layer of cheese on there. There we go. Now we're gonna lay this in here. If it doesn't fit exactly in your pan, it's okay. Just lay one going across like that. So I like to do a single layer of pasta as opposed to like multiple layers in between because we're gonna build it up. That's what we got, folks. We're gonna put some Parmesan on top and it's ready to go in.
So for how long?
It's gonna go in for 30 minutes.
At what temp?
At 350.
Perfect. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break here, and when we come back, we're gonna use some more of our Louisiana local ingredients to make some more delicious dishes at home. So stay with us. Welcome back to Field to to Feast, where we profile Louisiana and its local ingredients. Today, we are cooking at home with Chef Celeste, and we just made a delicious crawfish lasagna. But we have leftover mix with our crawfish. So
Yes.
what are we gonna do?
We are going to make some crawfish pistolets.
There are just so many things that you can be doing at home with these sacks of crawfish. After you have your boil, if you have extra and you put it away.
Take your bread, and you're going to make a V. See the V?
Oh! Well, that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Not sure why, but that's super cool.
I'm going to take these, and I'm going
Okay.
to put my crawfish in there. And you can hollow this out if you want to, but I'm a waste not, want not person. So I like to use everything. And this is already seasoned up for my lasagna. But the difference this time, I'm actually going to take the fresh mozzarella ball. I'm going to put that on top. I'm going to sit that in there. I'm going to take some fresh parsley. Because let's think about it. We're at home, and you still want to feel like you've gone out to a restaurant. So why not make your food nice and pretty? And then we're just going to put that top back on there.
You eat with your eyes first.
Exactly. So you want beautiful food that does not disappoint when you bite into it. And that's what we provide.
This is a pistolette, and it's full of Louisiana crawfish
Yes.
and fresh mozzarella.
Yes.
I'm so glad I haven't had breakfast. This, I have to have one more bite, and then we can get back to work.
I was telling somebody yesterday, I just like to feed people, and I just like to watch them eat.
This is like a crawfish meatball sandwich.
Yes.
But it's a small
Exactly.
version.
Nice and simple, single servings. You can pull out enough for the family. Okay. How you feeling? You know what? And we don't need to ask her what it tastes like because she's dancing. So when you're dancing, you know you like it.
Well,
So,
I'm
I
not
like
allowed
that.
to hug you.
No.
So I'm having to find all these creative ways to send my virtual hugs and my love.
Well, thank you.
And that is delicious. So if you would like the recipes that you've seen on the show today, or to get in touch with Chef Celeste directly, just visit us at twilatv.org. And until then, stay home and stay safe. Thank you so much, Chef, for
You're
cooking
so
with us
welcome.
today. Virtual hug.
Field to Feast with Jennifer Finley was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice.
Thanks, Jennifer. Now we're all hungry for crawfish, so let's go ahead and take a look at prices from across the state. In Alexandria, Tom's Seafood has them for $1.89 a pound live, and boiled are going for $3.99 a pound. In Tangipahoa Parish, the Hammond French Market has crawfish for $1.55 a pound live, while boiled are pretty cheap at $2.29 a pound. Finally, Crawfish City of West Monroe has crawfish for $2.50 a pound live and $4.49 boiled. And right now, if you really want crawfish, the best thing you can do is get to know a crawfish farmer or crawfish fisherman, and you can find them by going to crawfish.org. That's also the website for the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Ask Before You Eat. Still to come on TWILA, we get to say thank you to a lot of folks who are really helping us out. You'll get to see Kristen Oakes-White right after this.
Right now, 95% of Americans are ordered to stay at home as 42 states have enacted shelter-in-place orders. But there are countless essential people who are still working on the front lines to keep us safe, healthy, and fed. Essential workers are sacrificing their safety to provide the services we often take for granted. You folks are the true heroes, and we want to take a moment to show our appreciation and say thank you.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all those who are working on the front lines right now, keeping our country going. Those in the transportation industry, those in the healthcare industry, those stocking the shelves at the grocery stores. We are extremely grateful for all that you're doing, all your sacrifices, all your hard work, putting yourself in harm's way. We owe you a debt of gratitude.
Hi, my name is Dr. Casey Morris, and I want to say thank you to all the farmers out there, especially to my cousin Galen at Iverstein Family Farms for working hard to put fresh food on the table.
I'd like to say thank you to all the nurses being on the front line, taking care of all the sick. I'd like to say to all the grocery stores and all the essential personnel out there. We're with you on the front lines, and stay safe.
I'd like to take a minute to thank all the healthcare workers that are putting their life on the line every day in order to save lives.
Just want to say thank you to all the farmers keeping us fed, and just want to thank all of the healthcare workers and first responders and essential workers out there. I want to give a special shout out to my father-in-law, Kevin Ashelman in Jackson, Mississippi, working in the ER, and also the ones taking care of my boss here in Baton Rouge. I hope everybody stays safe and gets to feeling better soon.
All the doctors, nurses, the grocery store workers, the delivery truck drivers, and especially the farmers. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to them for working through this crisis, keeping us all safe and fed. We appreciate all you do for us.
Thank you, farmers.
I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I know how hard you're working and have always worked. And during this time, it's been nonstop for you despite the challenges. So thank you. Love you all.
Just wanted to give a quick shout out and say thanks to all the healthcare workers. You know, they're working crazy hours and stressful conditions.
We don't appreciate you enough, but this should open everyone's eyes to how valuable, how important, and how brave you are. You're soldiers, as far as I'm concerned, in the medical community, because you are fighting a war out there.
Y'all keep doing a good job. We're praying for you every day. Hope that you all get to go home safe to your families. And keep your head up. This too shall pass.
Thank you for those in the front lines for risking your lives. We are saying our prayers. Thank you for your service.
And I just want to give a special thank you and special shout out to all the farmers across America who are working tirelessly to continue during this pandemic. Thanks, guys.
I am eternally grateful for healthcare workers, employees at grocery stores, postal workers.
The nurses, the doctors, the pharmacists, all you people out there taking care of all of us through this sickness, thank y'all. Thank you to the grocery store operators, the ones that still cooking food at the restaurants.
The truck drivers that are out there moving our goods and services, the veterinarians who are keeping our animals healthy, to the people behind the parts counters and the mechanics who help keep our equipment running throughout this time of planning. Thank you.
From all the farmers and cattlemen and producers that bring you the food and fiber and the beef, and we appreciate you more than we could ever say.
Together we're all going to survive this, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to make this world a better place. My hat's off to all of you folks out there that are still trying to work and get through this. Thank you.
There's never been a question that the work that you do is essential. But now, perhaps more than ever before, our country needs our farmers and agriculturalists. Thank you for all that you do to help keep our country moving forward during this global pandemic.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you from all of us here at TWILA. And a special thank you to everyone who took the time to send us a video. We really appreciate it. That does it for this edition of TWILA. We hope that each and every one of you have a safe and happy Easter weekend. And if you're at home with family and craving more TWILA, you can always watch all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to us there. And as always, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. For all of us here at TWILA, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.